Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Gold Prospecting at Home. This is episode number 138, and this is not actually a gold prospecting at home video. This is an emerald prospecting video because we have some pay dirt from a place called Enigma Emerald Mine out of North Carolina. This is their website here, enigmamine.com. And if we go over to the shop link, you can see they sell gems, all kinds of stuff. And they also have pay dirt right here. They have two different ones. They have the enriched, right there you can see it says enriched, and they have non-enriched pay dirt. The enriched is 30 bucks, the non-enriched is $24.95. However, the non-enriched is sold out. So this is the one I actually purchased. Looking through the pictures here, it's kind of hard to tell, but I do know that I'm probably not going to process this the way that I would a regular gold pay dirt, right? Because panning this stuff out is we're just going to lose minerals and things and gemstones. So in the description for this product, it does say there are more than 60 different gems and minerals that can be found in North Carolina there. Emeralds, tourmaline, hiddenite, which I am not familiar with, aquamarine, quartz crystal, smoky quartz, citrines, amethyst, garnet, red rutile, golden rutile, pyrite, rose quartz, and etc. So pretty much we just got to keep our eyes open with this stuff. We're not going to pan it out until the very end, just to make sure that there's no gold in it or any kind of metals, and if there is, we will get it by panning. But this stuff is going to be pretty much lay it out, look at it, and pick stuff out of it, I think. I've never done a gemstone pay dirt quite like this. I sell a gemstone pay dirt on kleshgold.com, but it contains gold in it as well, so you have to pan it out. And it's very easy. It's basically you just pick out the big gemstones. So on the website, they do show a few of the minerals that they see the most frequently, such as amethyst, mica, rutile, quartz, rutilated quartz, smoky quartz, muscovite, and tourmaline. So that's pretty much what we're going to keep our eyes open for. I don't know how small they're going to be. I think I read something on the website that it could be very small. So basically, I have like 20 pounds of this stuff. It only cost $30, but it was $15.50 shipping. So it was like $45.50 shipped. But there's a lot of material. So before we go over to the panning station and check this material out, we are doing a giveaway. As always on these videos, this is a bag of Gold Strike pay dirt. It's guaranteed a half gram of natural placer gold. It's about a 7 on the difficulty scale from 1 to 10, which means there's some black sands in there and some flour gold. But this is my product from kleshgold.com. If you want a chance to win this bag, all you have to do is be subscribed, leave a like, and leave a comment on this video. And the only way that you're gonna know if you won is when I announce it on my community tab of this page. The reason I do that is because there's a lot of scammers out there saying that you won when it's really not me saying it. So the only way you're gonna know is through the community tab on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed. All right, let's head over to the panning station and we'll take a look at it. All right, here it is, 2 bags of the enriched pay dirt from Enigma Emerald Mine from Hiddenite, North Carolina. Let's take a look at it in a pan. Great, let's open this stuff up and see what it looks like. There's a lot here. Oh, and by the way, it didn't take very long for it to ship. I think it was a week before I got it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut one open. Oh, okay. It's extremely red. On the website, it does mention something about the Carolina red clay dirt that will stain your clothes and everything. So I used to live in North Carolina when I was in the military. However, I do not remember this. I lived on the central eastern side of North Carolina. This is from like north of Charlotte area, so western North Carolina. So I'm not too familiar with it, but I do see some pieces of mica right off the top. Small pieces of mica. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and dump this out in auto from AutoZone here, just to get a better look at it. Try to get everything out of the bag. I'm not going to worry about spraying these out though. There's no gold to worry about. We'll just chop them both. Get these bags out of the way. They really give you a lot. For 45 bucks, this is a lot. Here's a card that came with the product in case anybody's interested in that. Hopefully it's not out of focus. All right, so obviously we've got a lot of material here. There's over 20 pounds. It's like 20 pounds, 8 ounces when I weighed it. You can see a lot of mica in here. There are a lot of plus ½ inch, plus ¼ inch rocks in here. So what we need to do is to separate this out into different sizes. We can start off with a Arbor Fabricating ½ inch classifier. If you guys want to purchase one of these, you can get one from arborfab.com. Use code SKProspect and you'll get a discount on that. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it through the ½ inch classifier. Oh, that's awesome. All right away, I'm seeing some really cool big quartz points. I mean, these are pretty big. Look at that. That's cool. That's really awesome. There's a big piece of mica right there. Nice piece right there. That's cool. Another quartz point. I think that might be muscovite. I'm not too sure what muscovite is, but it looks like the picture on the website. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, definitely correct me in the comments. Yeah, another quartz point. Here's a greenish rock. I mean, that could be emerald. So all of this interesting stuff, we're gonna put it in here, but as you can see, there's a lot of dirt on this stuff. So we're actually gonna wash this stuff clean. I've got a bit more of the ½ inch stuff to classify. Oh, there's a piece of amethyst. That's pretty awesome. All right, now we're gonna run it through the ¼ inch. And then I think anything smaller than a ¼ inch is probably, you know, I mean, pretty much none of this stuff is gonna be super valuable. If you're wondering, like, what is this quartz point worth? I mean, if you go to a gem show, I mean, you could buy a handful for like $5. So there's not like a huge amount of value. With the aquamarines though, and the emeralds, those things, if they're clear enough, they could be very valuable. We just have to wash this stuff off and keep our eyes open. We'll put the ¼ inch in here. Yeah, this stuff is so dirty and a bit dusty as well. I think that'll be the next step, is to actually wash all these rocks somehow. And yeah, we'll figure that out as we go. You know what, while we're here, let's classify it to 1/8 inch as well. I have the classifier, and I think an 1/8 inch or over would be worth saving. There, I can see tons of mica in there. All right, here we have our plus ½ inch, plus ¼ inch, plus 1/8 inch, and minus 1/8 inch material here. Now, what we're gonna do next, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and wash all of these rocks to get as much of that red brown material off of there as possible, so any kind of shine from a gemstone will be much more noticeable. So I guess that's what we're gonna do next. As far as removing magnetic material, we're not actually gonna be panning for gold. So the reason you remove magnetic material from gold pay dirt is so when you're panning it, it makes the panning process a whole bunch easier. I could probably just run it through the sluice box towards the end of the show if you guys want to see that. Maybe there is gold in it, but who knows. But for now, we're just going to take care of, let's wash the big stuff off first. All right, so to wash this stuff off, we could just put an 1/8 inch classifier there, dump in our minerals and rocks, just add water.
And that's pretty much it. Now we just shake it around. And that pretty much cleaned everything up almost instantly. We'll give it a few more shakes here. Yeah, that definitely cleaned it up a lot. You can see there's that green stone that we saw before with no dirt on it. I think we've got some muscovite there. There's those points. Awesome. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and wash each of these classifications, and then we can start picking through it and see what we got. So all we need to do now is sit down and just really take our time picking out the different gemstones and minerals and everything. I'm going to be doing this on a time lapse for the edited version, and for the extended version you're just going to see the whole thing. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but let's get into it. So let's bring over Crusty Rusty. We'll just pour some in here. Maybe we can get it all at once. I think these are emeralds. This green stuff. There could be aquamarine too. I've seen aquamarine as green as this. I've seen aquamarine yellow as well. So it could be aquamarine or it could be emerald. That one just flew out of my hand. But these are some nice big points. There's a nice amethyst right there. It's not quite double terminated, but they did say on the website, it does say to take your time with the smaller stuff, which is probably going to be this, because there could be like double terminated small amethyst scepters in here. I'm not too sure if that's quartz. It might be rutilated quartz. Some of these pieces of quartz have like inclusions in them, and even like water bubbles and stuff inside, and also rutile, which I have not seen any yet. Basically it's like little gold needles almost inside of the quartz. I will keep my eyes open for it. That might be a citrine. There's some yellow in it. This one here, right there, piece of muscovite. That's awesome. That's a little amethyst scepter right there. Now I don't know if it's formed naturally like that as double terminated, but I mean it could be. I don't know enough about amethyst mining to know if that comes out of the ground, whoops, naturally like this or not. But I do see a lot of amethysts shaped like this, and they're called scepters. I just don't know if they're natural, but I mean, as far as like what I always assumed was they came in a cluster and then they broke apart and then they still saved this piece. That's kind of what it looks like. But if anybody knows the answer to that, you can let me know in the comments. Also remember, every comment you leave is another entry for the bag of gold pay dirt. There's another nice piece of muscovite. Pretty cool. Muscovite, more muscovite. There's quite a bit of that. This one here might have some pyrite in it, some fool's gold, possibly. That is possibly a piece of smoky quartz. It's got a little bit of darkness in it there. A lot of these pieces have like some shine in it, some mica, you know. But as far as keepers, like that one's pretty cool. I'll keep that. Like this one here, it's quartz, but it's very just opaque, so it's not clear or anything. Next we're going to do the plus 1/4 inch. Already we're finding pieces of amethyst, a whole bunch in this classification. That I believe is a garnet. I think that's a big flattened garnet. That's cool. There's another greenie. Not exactly sure. That might be emerald. There's another red one, a possible garnet. I think that's what that is. I'm pretty sure that's a big old garnet. A lot of little pieces of mica. I'm just going to skip over them unless they're pretty awesome. Like here's one, it's pretty big. There's a whole bunch in here I'm just kind of skipping over. I think I found some rutile, which is titanium oxide in its natural form. So this is titanium ore. See those little red long pieces here? Those are rutile crystals That's cool. That's really neat. That's the first time I've ever seen that actually in a pay dirt. A couple more green pieces here. These are more transparent, possibly aqua. Another garnet. Now I see a bunch of garnets. Now they just all appeared at once. I see about 10 of them. Maybe like 20 of them. There's quite a few here. Probably could have cleaned it a little bit better. Actually, it's a little bit dirty, but it's not terrible. It did clean off the majority of the red clay, so I can see what's what at least. These garnets are like my favorite thing so far in this pay dirt. They're just awesome. Actually, I think I like the big pieces of quartz the best. These are some nice chunky pieces here. These are all garnets that I'm grabbing here. You know, when you focus your vision on one thing, they just all kind of appear. That's what's happening with the garnets. It's kind of like, you know, you'll be walking around looking for mushrooms, morel mushrooms or something, and you won't see any for like an hour or two, and then you'll see one, and then all of a sudden you'll just start seeing more of them, like all over the place. They just kind of appear once you have one in your sights. Not sure what that phenomenon is called, but it's a thing. All right, that's a piece of amethyst. I'm gonna take a little bit more time here. I'm looking for that rutile because the description says to take your time, and they're like, they could be thin and long. See, that's a little stick right there, so that's not it. I think we have to go down to the minus 1/4 inch plus 1/8 inch to see it. Yeah, here we go. That's not rutile, but it's definitely some sort of a natural formed crystal right there. Maybe it's aqua or emerald. It's like a clear green. I've seen aqua that looks just like this. There's another little green one, naturally formed crystal. There we go, I see a rutile right there. That's what I was looking for. Right there, a little red rutile. This is what titanium comes from. That's awesome. All right, so now I know exactly what to look for. In this really small stuff, I'm kind of just now looking for maybe some garnets like this, the green ones, and the rutile. There's a longer green one. I mean, not long at all, it's just longer than the others and skinnier. Lots and lots of mica in here that I'm just passing up. Here we go. This might be something new. That looks like it could be possibly rose quartz or just a light colored garnet. I don't know if they exist like that, but it's kind of like a pinkish stone. There's quite a bit of organic material in here. When I just rinsed it off, I noticed a whole bunch of little sticks and stuff floating to the top. So there's another green piece. It's a small chip of a larger piece. That's awesome, right there. This is cool. So right here, I think we have the longest, skinniest piece so far. That's cool. It's interesting that in the plus 1/8 inch, minus 1/4 inch, I'm not finding many garnets. And it's just like there's only bigger garnets, which is very interesting to me. Around here in Colorado and other places that I've prospected, I usually find garnets, but they're really tiny. I think in BC, Canada, I found bigger ones, but they weren't even this big. Like they were not even half that size. I like how all the mica just sticks to crusty rusty here. So I think this is our last pan. Well, I gotta say, if you have some time on your hands and you like gemstones, I think this is totally, I mean, it was 45 bucks after shipping. It's absolutely is gonna, you know, it'll take a couple hours to go through this stuff, especially if you go through the -1/8 inch. Because if I sat here and did that, which I may actually go ahead and just pan it down to bring all the heavies to the bottom, and then we can just sift through whatever comes through. Because the thing is, this one little piece of rutile that you can see here, if it was standing up on end, that would easily go through an 1/8 inch classifier. So I have a feeling a lot of our rutile is in our -1/8 inch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and pan all of that out. It comes up to about here. I don't want to run it through the sluice box to just cut this down to a smaller amount. I'm gonna have to actually go ahead and pan this out by hand and be careful, because I don't know how light that rutile is. We'll start this off with just a scoopful, and we don't have to be super careful. We just basically have to get the heavies to go to the bottom, and we don't have to like clean up any black sands or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything interesting so far. I'll go ahead and keep panning this out, and if there's anything good, I'll let you know. You can see all the organic material floating off, some of the sticks and everything. Now, as far as this part, panning it off, I don't know how heavy that rutile is, so I gotta be careful here. There's a piece. So it does go to the bottom. Right there. That is what we're looking for. A piece of rutile. All right, so here's the thing. Now that I know that it goes to the bottom, I could probably get away with running this through the sluice box to process all this material very quickly. Now, before I run this, of course, we have to wet it down. The reason being is, well, let me give you an example. If we would put the dry stuff in just like this, it can actually float right on the surface tension of the water. See that? I don't know if you caught that, but a chunk of it just floated down. So I'm just going to add some water to the bucket. All right, so I'm running into a problem. So I wetted this stuff down, and now it's like it just clumps up even though it's wet, and it just rolls over everything, and I don't think this is going to be the best way to do this. I think I need to pan it. All right, so I got a whole bucket of this stuff to do, and I just want to give you guys an example. I'm not going to film it all. I just want to show you what needs to be done. So as you can see, it's like clumpy. It sticks together in like clumps. So basically, wet it down, break it up with your fingers like this, and once you feel all the clumps are gone, right, then you can start panning it out. And you can be pretty aggressive with it. You don't have to like really take your time. So I don't know if there's going to be any in this pan, but if there is, it's going to be right at the top, just like a piece of gold. And I don't see any in there, so I'm going to add a piece. So now if I pan it back, you'll be able to see how it reacts in the pan. See that? It moves a little bit, but not a lot. I think they also say on the website, do not pour this down your sink because it clumps up. This is going to be going in my garden. So I'll have a little bit of North Carolina here in Colorado. All right, we're at the last little bit at the end of the bucket here. Only found a couple little pieces after doing that whole bucket, so I'm not expecting too much from this last pan. This is a great way to spend the afternoon. I mean, if you're into this kind of stuff, if you like instant anxiety relief, 45 bucks. Find some awesome gemstones here. It takes a lot of time to do this one. All the little sticks in here, they throw you off because they look just like crystals. All right, we've got our mess cleaned up for the most part, and now we can take a look and see what we actually got here. So this pan is full of muscovite on the right and mica on the left. There's some pretty big pieces of mica here. Muscovite, I've seen this out in nature. I just thought it was, you know, clusters of mica. I didn't know it had a name, but yeah, it's called muscovite. Pretty cool. We also found maybe 10 or 15 pieces of amethyst in there. Some really nice ones. I think, you know, maybe these 3 or 4 are probably the best ones. Right there. That's awesome. Here's what those garnets look like. Here we've got aquamarine and emerald. As far as value, I couldn't say. Now, if a jeweler looked at this stuff, he would be able to tell you if it was clear enough, with you know, able to be faceted without any inclusions. I'm not going to look at it that up close, but we definitely found some. This is a piece of rutilated quartz. You can see the inclusions in there. That's pretty awesome. That's cool. Now for me, my favorite thing are these giant pieces of quartz. You know, this was really cool. So I didn't find any double terminated pieces, but that's pretty awesome for being in pay dirt, right? Anyway, that was a lot of fun, guys. For 45 bucks and all afternoon, made a big mess. I mean, I still haven't cleaned this thing up. I'm actually gonna sand it and refinish it at some other point. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a comment in this video. Every comment is going to be another entry for that free bag of Gold Strike Pay Dirt. Don't leave 2 comments in a row. You will be disqualified if you do so. But if you wait for one more person to comment after you and then you comment after them, you can literally put in as many entries as you like. So if you really don't want to miss out and you're an iPhone user, hold it up to the TV right now. Hey Siri, every hour on the hour, remind me to comment on Klesh's new video. So there you go. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. And that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, you're one of the 42% that haven't left, so thanks so much. And also, big thanks to all my Patreon supporters and channel members scrolling on this side. And also, if you're really interested in this channel and you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and check out these other videos linked here. They're also very relevant to what you just watched. And that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.